welcome to another edition of the RDFNL Netball Show. My name's Yeendy. I'm joined by Kim Bailey, and we had another big weekend of netball this past week.
Yeah, every week's getting big now. We had some big games, and we're heading into finals, and there's still a bit of a logjam there. We could have a lot of positions changing still at this stage, so great run into the finals.
Absolutely. One of the big results, the pleasing results over the weekend, Macedon edging out Rupert's Wood by 2 goals in a big one.
Yeah, this was a really, really interesting game, and
low scoring.
Low scoring, yeah, and it was cold and wet, and you know what you'd expect to happen at Tony Clark.
Yeah.
But Macedon were 1 goal up at quarter time, and then Rupo got the ascendancy, and they were 3 goals up at half time, and then Macedon come back again, and it was even Stevens in the last going into the last quarter, and then it was just it's a 1 centre pass. When you put it like that, it's just a 1 centre pass break, and it got them the win. I'm really impressed with Rupo, just how young they are and what a great job they're doing. That's a totally different team. And look at their shooters. They're Hayley Matthews, who is just a fantastic young kid. And if Rupo can keep her there and just keep her progressing through, she's going to be a superstar of our competition. And Amy Stars are at 82, so they shot at 86%. Macedon, a few girls limited on play because there was VNL the week before, so Chloe Wilson I think only had a half or something along that line, but young Tara Burnett's back in form and she shot at 84%. They had Janelle Birch is out with a finger injury, so I'm not quite sure we'll see her maybe until finals. So that's put a little bit of a dent in their lineup, but they brought in Liz Edwards, and Katie Clark had a great game too. But Macedon is still undefeated, and their shooting prowess, if you have a look, it's just behind Lansfield. Lansfield have shot the most goals for the season, 697, and Macedon at 691. So they're big percentage shooters as well. Tara's the big target there, but they can switch Kara Stewart and Chloe Wilson in and out of goals, and then even young Taylor Hardiman can also switch into there. But really good, solid game. They play each other again. Don't play this week. I think they both have to split round, and they front up again next week. But the thing is, again, they'll have some unavailability because Sovereigns have a Sunday game.
Yeah, the day after.
So we're still not seeing these two teams go at their best with both of their full teams in.
Is it a good thing though that because we might end up seeing these two face off in the first week of the finals? So I think the way things are sort of shaping up. Well, actually, I know Rupo will be behind, but there might be a chance they can sort of face off in the finals and go head to head. Yeah,
look, I'd love to see. VNL's been really disruptive this year for footy netball leagues because there've been so many Friday nights and Saturday, Sunday games, and we haven't seen our best players on the court week in, week out consistently.
Yeah, and for full games as well.
Yeah. So that's where VNL will be done and dusted by then. So we will see everyone available. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's just a shame that we haven't got that consistency this year, but you can't deny these girls playing at that high level of netball, can you? Yeah,
well, they bring so much back to their club, which is outstanding.
Yeah.
One of the other intriguing matches of the weekend, we have Melton Central's 44 defeating Rockbank 40 in probably Rockbank's best performance of the year to date.
Oh, look, I'm so pleased for Rockbank. They didn't have an A-grade team last year, and it's taken a little while to find their feet in this competition. I think they've come from Geelong, and it is different netball, and I spoke to Leanne there, and she sort of said when they went to Geelong originally, a lot of those girls, it took them half a year to find their feet, and they've done this now. So to push a team like Central's is fantastic. And they've still got they can win some more games this year. And just imagine what they're going to be like next year if they can keep them together. I'm really confident. Mary Brodie's been in sensational form right through, and she's a real strength in defence for them. And Jess Heron has also been playing some great netball. Sally Potbury has come over from Sunbury Lions for Mountain Centrals and has been a real asset for them. And she's a little pocket rocket and zips around the court, wing attack, and some great delivery to Beck Morabito. Shot at 86%. This lady is just evergreen. She's just sensational. She just keeps getting better and better and better. And Rachel Dobinson and Rita K. White, 14 from 14 and 100%. Woohoo! Look at that.
Yeah, you love those 100%ers.
Yeah, so that's a great effort by her too. But that Rockbank were leading up till 3/4 time.
Yeah, so led at every stage.
The game was there, and then big last quarter. It was an 8-goal quarter to them, but then a 16-goal quarter to Centrals, and their class just shone through in that last quarter, and they got the win.
And I guess when we sort of talk about the result of this game and Rockbank getting so close, it highlights how well respected the Centrals are. They are a genuine threat to the premiership this year on their day.
Yeah, they can fly under the radar, and I think they did it a few years ago. I think we spoke about this before, where no one, 2014, I'm not quite sure, no one picked them at all, and they snuck into the grand final and ended up winning it. So they are a team. When you've got the likes of Beck Morabito, Sally Potbury, Rach Dobinson in your team, and some Rita Kay's come in as well. I think they were missing some centre court player as well. Jess was not there, so add her back in. They'll do okay this year.
Yeah, and Ren is a seasoned campaigner as a coach too.
Great coach. Yeah, passionate, love it. They could still sneak in third spot, so they'll be pushing to try and get that third position over Lancefield. But Lancefield, as we said, have been really strong this year.
They certainly have been. We'll just have a look at some of the a couple of other games. We had Diggers Rest 61 defeating Riddle 43 in a very important game in the context of the season, because it opens up a bit of a gap there between 6th and 7th.
Yeah, it might be difficult for Riddle now to break through and get into the top 6, I think.
And they've got a poor percentage as well too, which is going to play against them too.
Yeah, but they're such a young team. I saw Kayleen Elliott was in the team this week playing with her daughter Kirby, so a real family affair at Riddle there with the Elliots at the moment, which is great to see. But Riddle have done really well with the team that was most probably decimated a bit from last year, but to have faith in their kids and bring them through. I think Eliza Allen has done a magic job with them. But yeah, good result for Amy Carroll and the girls at Diggers. Probably
gives them a little bit more confidence now heading approaching finals. So they believe that they can now cause some damage and really start to look at it as a big possibility now. Yeah,
I just think they need to get that shooting position settled. Who will be their shooter to support Amy? I think they've had a couple of changes in and out. So yeah, but it's a good result for them. That keeps them building.
Another good result. We saw the young guns over at the Hawks push the Tigers.
Yeah, I reckon Heskett have been going really well, and we've seen some improvement. To shoot 43 goals is amazing. And Maddie Starenstina has been playing really well as well. And they've brought some of their kids through. Mackenzie Brown's had a few runs up in there as well. It's going to be best for the future. She's playing under 17 netball and was in our under 17 rep team, so she's had a really good game. But Lancefield, they're just they've got really strong goalers they can bring in and out as well. Jordan Finesse has been playing a few games up there, come up from B grade, and she's a really talented player as well. And Alan's been given those girls the opportunity. But they had some, I think they had a couple of players out with VNL as well. But it's still a great result. Good victory by Lancefield. And they don't know if they can get second spot. I don't think they will from Romsey, but I think they might hold on to third, but we'll have to wait and see.
Well, 3rd versus 6th in week 1 of the finals, probably. If at this stage they're looking to face Diggers Rest, and the two of them have had some pretty good battles over the season anyway.
I think if you look at the season now, look at the final 6, they'd be fantastic games if that's how they line up.
Yeah, well, you'd have Masson and Romsey, Lancefield and Diggers, and then Centrals and Rupo.
Yeah, it'd be unreal. So, but that could change. But anyway, any of those teams that would line up against each other, they're going to be good games.
It says a lot about where the competition's heading. We will make note that Romsey did defeat Sunbury Kangaroos on the weekend as a due to a forfeit.
Yeah, unfortunately, Sunbury have been struggling to get an A-grade team on. They've had a few injuries and a few illnesses, and every week they've struggled, and to the girls' credit that they have. But last week it just got too hard, too many injuries, had lots of illness, and unfortunately they had to forfeit. So Romsey got the 4 points, which is, it's most probably just going to reflect in their percentage, but they're still most probably sitting comfortably in second. But the good news is Kangaroos will bounce back and have their A-grade team up and running again this week against Riddle, so that's good.
Exactly. As we turn our attention to this week, it is a split round over a couple of weekends, and 6th place Diggers take on the improved Hawks, who are sitting in 9th spot.
Yeah, I think Woodend will most probably run Diggers a little bit this week.
Yeah.
You know, I might even pop over and have a bit of a look at this game. As I said, they're really improving, but I think Diggers, they need to get this win. They'll be set, and I think they'll get the victory.
Yep, no arguments there. Third place, Lancefield take on 8th place, Rockbank.
Yeah, we spoke about the improvement of Rockbank, but I know Lansfield need to get some players qualified. I'm not sure if Stacey Gannon will play. When she's in the team, she makes a really big difference in the shooting circle. Don't know if we'll see young Save Williams back again. I'm not sure if what's happening there. She hasn't played the last few weeks, but she's that tall target, and T haven't seen her, but there's been some VNL games on as well, so she will hopefully come back into the team. Big task for Rockbank. I don't think the margin will be huge, but I think Lansfield will get the win. With
you on that one. Sunbury Kangaroos are going to bounce back onto the court. They take on Riddle.
Yeah, so this is one of the change games. So Sunbury Kangaroos, I think, was supposed to take on Wallen this week.
Yeah,
Broadford, and Riddle will take on Wallen. So the game is this Saturday at Boardman, and young guns against young guns, because they've got some young kids, both of them, and I think Riddle will get the victory.
Yep, no arguments there. Blockbuster game, 4th place Melton Centrals take on 2nd place Romsey.
Yeah, so this is the week after, so this is the split round. We only have two rounds there. Melton Centrals versus Romsey, wow. This will be a great game. Romsey are going to have a few restrictions on them as well, because there's a Sovereigns game the next day, so Kaylee Armstrong will be limited, Danny Davidson will be limited. I just think that all of Romsey's talent will be too much for Centrals, but it'll be a pretty close game. Centrals could cause an upset. Don't think they will, but they're the sort of team that can pull something like that out. I'm going Romsey. I'm
going to struggle to go against you there. I think, as you say, Romsey's depth is quite impressive. One of some of the best in the competition. And
Al McDonald's just been on fire for them. She's just such a wonderful player. Really impressed with her in the mid-court, and then she can swing into defence, and then Romsey can swing that defence, those attack line through. They've got 3 quality goalers in Millie Brock, Hope Evans and Chelsea Ross. You can just put anyone there. I think the challenge for them in finals is going to be who to play permanently, because you need to get some stability in your lineup now. Maybe
just get one player in there and then change up the other. But
it's hard for Millie because she's a tall girl, and it's hard for her to play out at goal attack the whole time. And Chelsea's had a wonderful season, but Hope's been shooting exceptionally well. And Millie's an ANL player and a champ player. She's quality. It's a hard problem to have, isn't it? It's tough.
It is. And one of the blockbusters, you touched on it before, and we're seeing a bit of a rematch of this one. Rupo at home to Macedon, of course, in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, so this is the normal game that should be scheduled. Again, as I said, Macedon will have some restrictions, so most probably it's Chloe Wilson who they won't have. Sovereigns have a hard game against Geelong the next day, so they'll be wanting her to rest. Macedon have just had the ability to bring other players in to cover those absences though, but do you know what? I'm just going to go for an upset. I think Rupo's young kids, I think they're due to have a breakthrough. I'm going to go Rupo for Macedon's first loss of the year.
I'm going to stick with Macedon on this one. Let's do it.
I'm just doing it because I think, it's hard to go through a season undefeated. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
I'd love to go through a season undefeated. But I just think it's that close. I think Dice most probably would be doing her homework, and it just depends who Macedon can bring in. But we'll see. I'm just going to take the punt. I think I'm just going to throw caution to the wind, Yeendy.
A valuable win for Macedon on the road is what I'll be sticking to. Kim, thanks so much for joining us on this week's edition of the RDFNL Netball Show. We look forward to catching you later on.
No worries.